Welcome back. Episode 85 of your favorite podcast show, Shit, That's Just Life, with your favorite life coach here. My guest today is a retired U.S. English teacher who spent decades with 7th and 8th graders. At that age where kids are standing at the doorway between childhood and adulthood, trying to figure out who they are and who they want to become. We're diving into decisions that guided her career, the moments that broke her open, the lessons that she learned from her students, and the truth about what it means to choose a life of teaching. So settle in, take a breather, and let us step into the story. There we go. We are able to
There
get
we
that
go.
done. Okay. So I want to get started, and I have a few questions here on my end here. So getting started wise, I first want to know what life choice can you say led you to become an English teacher? Was it intentional or was it like accidental when you became a English teacher? Was that intentional or accidental?
The English part was accidental. The teaching part was intentional.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I believe I've always wanted to be a teacher. I love to babysit. And while I was babysitting, I was teaching the little kids, stuff, anything I could, whatever. And then my first job came, and the principal, we did a phone interview, and he asked, do you like to teach reading? And I was like, yes, I love to read. He was like, but can you teach reading? I was like, sure. I didn't know whether I could or not. But it
Okay.
was first year I needed a job. I'm saying yes to anything.
Okay.
And so I ended up in reading first. And then, of course, reading evolved into ELA, English, whatever. So it went on from there. But I loved it because I love to read and I loved helping my students love to read.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Okay. So when it comes to middle schoolers, are do you think they're at a crossroads in life? Like, what choices do you see them wrestling with the most?
The middle schoolers wrestle with their hormones waking up.
Okay.
Am I a child, or am I becoming a teen, or am I a grown up? A lot of the middle school, well, I won't say a lot, but some of the middle, well, for the 30 years, a lot of the middle schoolers um, had to be the grown up in their family.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they came to school, they tried to be the grown up in front of a grown up, a teacher grown up, and it wasn't working. So they were having a fight there.
Okay.
And so it was just, they had to kind of separate their home life from the school life. They had to learn that. They also had to learn about the hormones that were going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had, and then do I still want to play with dolls, or do I want to play with makeup?
Okay.
I'm not sure what I want to do. So it was all of that is going on. Their environment at home and then in school. Do I want to be with the bad kids? Do I want to be with the good kids? They had a lot of choices to make,
Okay.
So
Mm.
they were, they had crosswords themselves.
Yeah.
And they just had to figure out, who am I? And that's another big one. They were trying to figure out who they were, you know, who
Yeah.
they wanted to become
Well,
also.
did any of that affect your teaching techniques?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Um, we learned to start where the student is,
Okay.
or I learned. And so if we want to act like a baby today, I just kind of sat down and stopped and kind of relaxed. I think I don't know, totally a different kind of a teacher because I didn't stick to the curriculum and we got to do this. If I was seeing that the majority of the kids, 5 or 7 of them,
Mm-hmm.
were having I'm acting like a baby today, I'm going to stop the class and let's talk about this. What's going on? Um, and then we were able to jump into the lesson, or else I was able to tie it, that real life, I was able to tie it to learning about whatever we were doing that day.
Okay. Yeah.
pronouns, whatever.
Yeah. Got it. What is something about teaching seventh and eighth graders that nobody prepares you for?
Oh, the hormones,
Oh, okay.
the craziness,
Mhm.
the,
Mhm.
the fact that, oh, here's another one. The moon, I hear people talk about, oh, if the moon's full, these people act crazy. Let's talk about that's a real thing.
Mm.
I did not realize that, but it's a real thing. It's just the atmosphere just wonkies out everybody's mental whatever's, I don't know, but it's just crazy. And so that's one of the things I did. And the fact that they don't want to take responsibility,
Okay.
and I think I shouldn't say don't want to, but they're learning how.
Okay.
And they're kind of not liking the fact that they have to take that responsibility.
Right.
So they're kind of like, oh no, I don't, I don't like it.
Mm.
So I'm not going to do it. And so that's a big one.
Mm.
That was a big one.
So, what is a good piece of literature do you think every young person should read before running
Oh,
into an adulthood? You know,
hmm.
what's something that you think would just be that'll be a great stepping stone for adulthood?
Judy Bloom, I forgot the boy's book. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, because that talks about a girl at that 11-year-old age and all the things that come with it, kissing a boy and liking a boy and starting the period. And then the boy's book, which I forgot the name of it, it talks about the boys having wet dreams
Hmm.
and at 11 and 12, the same age, and some of the same things
Oh wow.
that the girls are going through, doing the first kiss and all that other kind of stuff. That's one book that I think every kid should read. I had a book club in one of my classes, and I made the boys read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, which is the girls' book, and the girls had to read the boys' book.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a real good conversation after that,
Okay.
because the girls didn't know, the boys didn't know, because that's when I had sixth grade. And so they were 11. And so they didn't know all that. And I let the parents know we're getting ready to read this
Okay.
because they
Educate
were getting
them.
ready to find out some stuff.
Okay. Okay. So, what's something adults get wrong about middle schoolers? What's something you can say that they truly may get wrong?
I, oh my goodness, what would that be? Hmm. All of the lessons and knowledge that they had learned up
Mm-hmm.
until that age,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't really apply. And the parents are thinking it does. Don't touch the hot stove, or else you're going to get burned. Yeah, you still will get burned, but those kids are going to touch it. A lot of those kids are going to have to see for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what they want. And parents are like, I told you not to do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They have to let their kids go and see for themselves. If they get burned, you have to be ready with the ointment. Put it on there, give them a band-aid, and tell them, you know,
I told you
I
so.
said,
Yeah.
yeah,
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 I told you so. I told
I
you
told you so.
it
So
was a dog out there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you gonna run with the dogs, you're gonna come home with fleas, all of that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Can you say something about at least what is the truth about life that you learn? Like what is the truth did life teach you to face when you were teaching?
What was something that life taught me?
At least what truth did life teach you? Wow.
That it was okay.
Okay.
It was okay for me to get something wrong and to admit it, because that's a hard thing for adults.
Okay.
I'm standing up here in front of these 20, 25, sometimes sixth graders, seventh graders, eighth graders, and I misspoke. I did something wrong.
Okay.
I, messed up. And to say sorry in front of them was a lesson that I had to learn that I needed to do.
Okay.
In my first year, it was kind of funny. I told all the students what all we were going to do for the whole year. We got a lot done. I missed one or two things. I had a student call me out on one of the things that we didn't get to do. You said
Okay.
we were going to do,
Yeah.
and we didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah,
Okay. That.
and I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But that was hard. That was hard. She put me on blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it,
Yeah.
And so my lesson was don't tell them what we're going to do the whole year.
Yeah. Okay.
I just broke it down. Let me do this semester,
Yeah.
get a couple of wishes,
Mm-hmm.
and change it from kind of use my words intentionally.
Okay.
Don't say this is what we're going to do. I would have to say this is what we're going to try to do.
Yeah.
And so if we don't make it, they aren't mad.
Yeah, that brings me to my next question. When did a student teach you something that you wasn't really ready for?
That right there.
Oh god, that's
and
funny.
and it really did, because that was something that was my first year, didn't know anything. And from then on, I remembered she sat there. I see her face, I see everything, I just don't know her, I can't get that name. She sat there and she sure did, she asked. And so I was like, okay, I can't, I felt like I failed her,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I didn't want to do that to anybody else. I didn't want to fail anybody else. So I was real intentional about, okay, this is our plan,
Yeah.
using that instead of going going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What was the most emotionally difficult part of teaching adolescents? The most emotionally difficult part of teaching adolescents. What would you say was the most?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Oh. Uh-huh.
When a student, an adolescent, dies,
Okay.
because, oh, where was I the first year? It's the students look to me for, okay, the comfort, the understanding, the reasoning. How did it happen? Why did it happen? How did God let this happen?
Yeah.
And I didn't have answers.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Hmm." So I had to learn that if I'm going to cry with them, I'm going to cry with them. And if I just need to hold them and hug them, I need to do that too.
Yeah. That
So
sounds like that could be
that
difficult. Yeah. Oh
that's
wow.
difficult.
Mm.
That's difficult.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
now that you're retired, what life choices do you look back on differently?
I wish I would have continued education.
Okay.
I wanted to sort of, let me see, what did I want to do? I wanted to be a counselor because I'm nosy, you know, and I wanted to know everybody's business, but I didn't have the words. I didn't feel I had the words to help them,
Okay.
well enough.
Yeah.
And to send them to some of the counselors, I was like, well, you just stay in here because I'm better than that. And I just didn't want to do the hours,
Okay.
and I feel like now I cheated myself out of that.
Hmm.
I cheated myself out of that. I should have gone into counseling because I think it would have been fun. I would have liked it. I would have had, just a lot more different experiences
Okay.
out of the classroom.
Yeah, just trying to get up out that classroom. Okay. I'm
Out of the
not I'm
classroom,
not
yeah.
mad at you. You want to at least switch lanes for a second. dive
Yeah.
into something
And I
different.
think, yes, I think if I would, well, see, I think if I would have switched lanes, I may have continued in education a little longer.
Okay.
I got out because the district noticed that at my building I was paid the most.
Hmm.
And so they were like, we can get almost 2.5 people in that building on her salary.
Oh wow.
So they started meddling with me. And so, I was like, okay, cool. I'll retire. I got my hours, I got my time.
Yeah.
But I would have kept going if I was out, because I think on a counselor's salary, I wouldn't have been at the top. But at the teacher's salary, I would have been at the top.
Hmm.
Because I had 30 years in.
Mm-hmm.
And if I would have started counseling, I wouldn't have had 30 years. You know what I'm saying? I would have
Yeah.
been at year 7.
Yeah.
And you ain't getting no money at year 7.
Okay. She said, I'll
You ain't
take the
getting no money.
30, Bob. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'll take the time I worked for. Okay. So, what is a
Yes.
decision that you made in your personal life that affected your teaching, for better or for worse?
Hmm. Hmm.
You know,
Ooh, that's a good question. A decision you made in your personal life.
that affected your teaching, either for the better or for the
Hmm.
worse. So,
I think changing districts.
okay.
So I was in Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and um, at Paul Robeson and a principal there
Okay.
decided, mm, uh, I'm just going to send you over to Nowlin, which is over in Independence.
Okay.
Okay. And so you know the difference of being in Kansas City
Mm-hmm.
and then having to go over to Independence.
Yeah.
And that's a totally different kid, totally different
It's totally different zone.
everything.
Yes.
To whereas we were told at a PTA meeting, make sure you aren't caught over here after dark. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh wait, it's already dark. So now what do I do?
Oh
You
wow.
know?
Yeah.
But so I had that whole atmosphere. And it wasn't just the parents, it was some of the teachers too that had this, what are you all
Yeah.
black folks doing over here?
Okay.
So that, and then from there, um, I left Kansas City and went out to Center
Okay.
uh, middle school. And so I think that is one decision
Hmm.
that affected my teaching. Because then out at Center, it was really a totally different thing.
Okay.
And I really, I think the kids were easier. The kids weren't as biased, prejudiced,
Okay.
racist as their parents were.
Yeah.
Because since kindergarten back in Center, so that was 90, early 2000s, they were used to seeing black folks in their classes.
Okay.
Their parents, their parents. And so the parents were trying to come up to the school talking some trash to us adults. And I'm like, wait a minute, honey, let's
Oh wow.
not do that.
Yeah.
So it was better at some times, and then it was worse at that part was worse. But in the end, it taught me how to deal with it,
Okay.
you know, and deal with the folks.
Hmm. So, what is one message that you hope your formal students carry into their adult lives?
That they like to read,
Okay.
and that message is that you need to be lifelong readers.
Yeah.
And I think because I've seen some of my students outside of high school, college, they've come to me, and especially boys. The girls probably came to me as readers,
Mm-hmm.
or oh, I like to read sometimes, but But the boys are the ones that I've heard one student told me. Now this is after they were grown. You were the first teacher that I had to read the entire book for.
Mm-hmm. Oh
You
wow.
know, I never, and now this is in sixth grade. So what were you doing all these years before? Um, and then I love the library. Oh, that's another one. I wish I would have jumped into libraries, because I could have been a librarian. I
Mm-hmm.
would have liked that too,
Okay.
because I like putting books into kids' hands.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And that's how I got the boys to keep reading.
Okay.
You didn't have to read about, you know, the girls jumping up and down playing jump rope.
Yeah.
You can read about the boys playing soccer, basketball, football, because the books were in the library and I had read some of them and I
Okay.
knew that they would be good for the kids. So I made, for the fellas, I made lifelong learners. Another student, and bad part about it is I don't remember him.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, sorry, but he came and he said, because I had him reading, he's taught his kids the love for reading,
Okay. Oh wow.
and so I'm like, that's what I wanted.
Okay. Okay. Because
Yeah.
it's funny that you mentioned that as a government civilian. I can honestly say that reading needs to be a main priority, partially because
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to all different type of people from all over, different places of the world. But the main
Mm-hmm.
thing they had questions on is something that they could have just read. You know,
Yeah.
a piece of mail
Yeah.
comes into their home and they're like, "I'm calling because the number was on it." We're like, "Well, did you read what was on the letter?" No, I didn't read it. Well, the thing is, you
I
don't
just
even need to
called.
call. You just need to read
Right.
what's on the
You just need
letter.
to
The instructions are clear. Did you read it? And the one thing they never,
Yeah.
tend to do was ever read, or it's just they don't read past the first line. They don't
Yep.
read past the first few words. Please
Yep.
call. It was like, did you read the
Yep.
rest? Please call us if you are deaf. Okay, don't
Yeah.
call us just because. Did you read the rest? People see
No, no.
please call and they just call. So I thought that was
Yes.
pretty
So they call.
pretty
Yeah.
funny, and that's when, to me, working in the government taught me to always dot my i's and cross my t's.
Yep.
Always read
Mm-hmm.
before you do anything.
Read.
Read the
Yes.
website. Read. Everything you
Mm-hmm.
need is
Mm-hmm.
out there. So you
Mm-hmm.
just need to read.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people are choosing not to read. Like,
Mm-hmm.
literally, I can
Mm-hmm.
I can literally take a horse to the water, but I can't make him drink it.
That's
So
right.
it's just
That's
like,
right.
I can tell someone all day till they're blue in the face what something says,
Yep.
but if they are not choosing to read, then it's up to them
Yep.
how they want
Yep.
to further their education if they're not trying to read.
Mm-hmm.
So I can I
Mm-hmm.
can definitely
Mm-hmm.
relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. And I thought it was just
Mm-hmm.
children. It's like, oh no, these are
Oh no.
these are
These are
adults.
adults.
These
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
grown-ups beyond grown that are deciding not to read. These are my
Yeah.
people that are my
Yeah.
grandma's age, or choosing not to read, or
Yep.
my
I
dad's
do.
age,
Yeah.
choosing not to read. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that I don't partake in any of those parties anymore, any of those situations. I read everything I get, or I make time to
Right.
sit down to read. Just
Right.
don't sign
To read it.
anything that you
Mm-hmm.
don't agree to. But first, you
All
have to
right.
read it.
You have to read it.
You have to read it.
Yeah.
So,
You have to read it.
yeah.
I used to tell the boys, okay, you become that basketball player, but in the contract, because you don't want to read a nonfiction, contract or nonfiction,
Mhm.
piece of work, that in the contract on page 17, it's going to say that you have to give your sixth grade, seventh grade, whatever grade it was, eighth grade English teacher $20 every time, every step you put on the basketball court during the game
Yeah.
and practice.
Hmm.
But if you're not going to read that, you're not going to know that you're going to be paying me. I mean, just silly stuff, just so they can realize, oh, yeah, I do kind
Yeah.
of need to read everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, I just read the first two sentences. It said call. No, you read it all. Read it all,
And the thing
because
is,
what's hidden in there,
yeah, really, and the
you
thing
know?
is, it's just the fact that if you don't start reading, then typically you're putting something on to someone else to do for you. And it's always something that we can do ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Especially when it comes to
yeah.
like reading. It's one thing if you need someone to reiterate what something means or, translate to
Mhm.
tell you what this really
I got
means.
you.
But it's
Yeah.
another thing for
Mhm.
you to be like, I didn't read it at all. You read it for
I didn't
me,
read it.
do it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
It's even
yeah.
like with people
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
with taxes. How can you not
Okay.
learn how to do your own taxes, but you expect the
Somebody else to do
yeah,
it?
the
Yeah.
tax preparer to do everything down to the T. Oh, she was supposed to do
Yeah.
everything down. Well, if you don't even know how to do it, how do you know she did it wrong? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
How can you fix
Right.
it if you
Right.
don't even know what it was supposed to look
Mhm.
like? And everything out there are instructions on how you can actually file your
Yeah.
taxes, how what box it
Right.
goes in, everything. So some things baffle me when people are not trying to just further their education.
Yeah,
Especially,
yeah,
yeah, just
yeah.
when it comes to voting, people are not trying to look into the
Oh,
facts. It's just everything
oh,
that we're running
that's
into. It's just the
crazy.
lack of reading.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
This is the lack of reading.
the lack of
Yeah,
reading.
yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looking for
Mm-hmm.
actual facts. That's just what we're lacking. You know,
Yeah.
having factual information. I thought financial literacy
Mhm.
was it, but it's like no, people. Even if we had books, I don't know. Would they read it? I don't know.
No, no,
I
they
don't
won't.
know.
No.
But
Mm-mm.
okay, I have a question. If you can go back and talk to yourself on your very first day of teaching, what would you say?
Mm.
I'm curious.
Whoa, whoa. Oh, that's another good question. Wow, I don't know. That it's okay to fail in front of the students. It's okay to fail and be wrong.
Mhm.
It's okay to show emotion,
Okay.
because we were told those first couple of years, don't smile until, November.
Oh wow.
Don't try to be friends with them. Don't, all those types of things. Don't try to connect with them. So I think it's okay to do all those don'ts,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
Um, okay, friends is a loose term,
Mhm.
means one thing to the child and one thing to me. So at least just to know the things you like to do, the child likes to do, and those type of things. And it's okay, if I go to their baseball game or their soccer game or whatever, but because it was drilled in us the first couple of years not to do that, I think I missed out on doing that,
Mm.
you know? Um, so I think it would have been okay to be human for me
Yeah.
and to get to know the students,
Okay. Yeah.
smile.
Yeah.
It was hard not smiling now. I'm ridiculous. And so I wanted, I was trying not to smile, and that was hard. That was
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. That had to be hard. Um.
That was hard.
Yeah. I think that's funny because I remember you had to smile back in the days when you were teaching your seventh and eighth graders. I was one of those seventh and eighth graders. You had a smile, but
Yep.
this I can honestly say the smile didn't last long. But you had
Yeah.
a smile.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah. No, because it's like, oh, I can't, it was
Yeah.
drilled. Oh my God, it was drilled. And so I was
Oh.
like, so I wish that wasn't something you remembered.
Okay. Yeah,
But,
I definitely thought that the smile that you had because it didn't last long. I just had this thought like, okay, maybe she goes from happy to sergeant, happy to all
yeah.
right, ready to teach, So I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, she just wants to show that, oh, I'm nice, but I'm here to teach
Yeah.
you. I'm not here to be your friend. So I thought that was
Yeah.
just more of the vibe that you was trying to have a disconnect. Like, okay, I'm friendly, but I'm not your friend. So I can be nice to you, but I'm here to give you the truth, honest truth. I'm here to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So I thought that was it, though.
Yeah.
But it was
That's funny.
that was my personal perception. Yeah. But this was a nice interview, and having you sit down with me, and it was a pleasure having you come sit down and give me your journey and just tell me so openly, how you are navigating through that and how you actually persevered through that journey.
Yes. Thank you for inviting me to do so. It's been fun.
Thank you to our guest, Miss Blair Conway, for joining us, for sharing her journey so openly. Her story offered real insight into the choices that shape us. And if you want more honest conversations about life, growth, and the decisions that matter, join the community. This is just the beginning. Every chapter starts with a choice. Maybe yours is just hitting that follow button.